Well, good morning, Freedom Team. Welcome. You guys know we do this every Monday, same time, same bat channel. And as always, we got some phenomenal guests coming on, and boy, we got a big one today. This gentleman's background is pretty mind-boggling. There were several different bios I could read, so I grabbed one. But I want you guys to hear this for just a minute, and I'll imagine you're going to be all open ears and dialed in when you hear this. But Mr. Shon Kokoszka, our guest today, he is a billion-dollar agent, having sold more than 4,000 homes in his 28-year career, achieving the coveted status of top 100 RE/MAX worldwide, top 100 Keller Williams worldwide. He is also the former president of Keller Williams MAPS Coaching and MAPS Business Training, which is the #1 training organization in the world. Shon is a John Maxwell certified coach and helped create the KW Bold coaching program and the One Thing training curriculum based on Gary Keller and Jay Pappason's best-selling book. He leverages his real estate sales and marketing experience to help each of his clients identify and embrace the key principles of success used by top producers and increase their real estate production through his systematic approach. As an entrepreneur, he has compiled an impressive record of growing businesses, developing teams, and delivering exceptional client service. As a coach and mentor, he has inspired tens of thousands of top performers through his insights, experience, intuition, and energy, including companies like McDonald's, Northwestern Mutual, Fidelity, FedEx, PepsiCo, KW, and Genertech, to name just a few. As the founder of Icon Coaching, he provides free coaching strategy sessions, webinars, and agent tools to help real estate agents advance their careers by learning top producing techniques to increase listings, buyer sales, profitability, and productivity. I'm mind boggled. Shon, I'm reading, I'm almost fatigued and worn out after reading that bio. Dude, very, very impressive. So,
underachiever.
Underachiever, yeah. To say the least, right? But hey, Shon, why don't we start off this way, man? I know you're married, got kids and all that. Let's give us a little bit of your background on your family and kind of what got you into real estate at an early age, and then just take us through this journey, and we'll get into more in-depth Q&A as we dig into attraction.
Dude, I was pulled into real estate kicking and screaming at a very early age, by the way, very early.
Which is what
my brother and I, we were pulled around in a little red wagon by my mom as she canvassed this area called Countryside in Westminster, Colorado. And it was kind of fun. I mean, it was kind of fun because if they had children and, my mom would talk with them, and we would get to play with them in the front yard. And it was kind of fun. And yet once I could run, she had me delivering flyers to 2,200 homes a week. I mean, I was running and putting it on the doors of these houses. And so very early age, then I started answering phones at her real estate office. Then, I finally did get my license when I was 20 years old. So I figured, okay, it's time to do this. College, I tried it, wasn't the best thing for me. I didn't enjoy that. So got into real estate sales, yet within 18 months, I'd increased production. And by the way, my mother was much smarter than I am. She said, I'm going to work the listing side of the business, Shon, and you're going to work the buyer side of the business. And so I took over the buyer side of the business. And within 18 months, so I had increased that production to over 100 buyer side transactions per year with one unlicensed assistant. So as you can tell, I worked my freaking ass off, guys. I worked 24/7. I want to share a quick story with you that was a catalyst to the change that allowed me to really systemize the buyer side of the business. And I think this is critically important, especially as the market slows down. See, 2 years ago, we didn't care about buyers. I didn't want buyers 2 years ago. I just wanted listings because that it was a non-skill based environment, meaning you take this listing, it's worth $750,000. You look at all the comps and they say, no, I'm going to list it at $1 million. And you'd list it at $1 million, and guess what? You'd sell it for 1.2. It was a non-skill based environment. We didn't want buyers because there were multiple offers, and you'd have to do 10 times the work. Writing 10 offers for a single buyer to finally get them under contract, gang, that's painful. See, let me share with you real quick the best way to win in a multiple offer situation. You guys want this?
Yeah.
The best way to win in a multiple offer situation. Be the listing agent. Be the listing agent. Yeah. You win every single time. Yet, so I'm going to digress. I'm going to share with you a quick story that was the catalyst of change, because I was that agent that would just show up And I didn't know exactly what I was going to do that day. I just knew that I was going to be productive. I would look at myself in the mirror every morning and say, Shon, you are unemployed until you get a buyer to hire you, to sign a buyer agency contract. And that feeling, that stress of feeling unemployed, I did not like that. I would push away from that. And oftentimes we're motivated through the contrast, right? So anyhow, my wife came to me and said, Shon, you haven't taken a day off for like 9 months. And it's true. I just worked my tail off, guys. I said, honey, I know why you're saying this. I know it's your birthday this coming Sunday. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the whole day off. In fact, we lived in Denver at the time. And I said, we're going to drive up to Aspen. We're going to sleep in a little bit in the morning. Okay. We're going to drive up to Aspen. We're going to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. And we're going to get massages. We're going to go to a wonderful dinner. We're going to stay the night. We're going to, come back Monday late afternoon. That's the plan. So I told everybody at the office, do not bother me. Do not call me. We'd started building a team at this point, right? And I said, do not call me. Do not bother me. And hear this, back in those days, because this was, 31 years ago. I said, don't page me. People are like, what's a pager? Okay, so yeah, don't page me. And so nevertheless, we're sleeping in a little bit. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and the phone rings, our house phone. Now, this is even before the days of caller ID. Man, I feel so old right now. And so I lean over, I answer the phone. I think it's just maybe a friend or a family member who's calling my wife to wish her a happy birthday. And I thought, well, I want her to be exposed to that. So I answered the call. And guess who it is, guys?
Keller.
This is when we were at Max. So it's our weekend call coordinator. And he calls me and says, his name is Zach. He says, Shon, I just took the most motivated call from a buyer prospect that I've ever taken. Shon, this person literally wants to reach their hand through the phone line if they could and sign a contract on this property. All the other agents are busy. They want to see this house at 10 o'clock. Can you show it to them? I said, Zach, absolutely not. It's my wife's birthday. I told you guys I'm taking the day off. I haven't had a day off for 9 months. Just give me a break. I was pissed. Yet, nevertheless, I took the contact information of the buyer and I said, I'll just call them, explain my circumstances. I can show it to them tomorrow evening. I also learned that this is a brand new listing that they were calling on the market was hot back in those days. Brand new listing. It was 829,000, as I recall, which, by the way, our average sales price in those days was about 155,000. So I'm getting kind of excited about this, right? So I step in the other room, I call them, and I said, I could barely even get my name out of my mouth. I called and said, hi, it's Shon Kokoszka and interrupted me, right? Interrupted me and said, oh, Shon, thank you so much for calling us. We need to buy this house. We want to buy this house. We're going to buy this house. We just need to see the inside. Can you please show it to us today at 10 o'clock? So I turned to my wife and, after I set the appointment for 10 o'clock, I turned to my wife and we had that conversation. And many of you know that conversation, right? Where you're missing out on important life events due to the urgent matters of real estate. Anybody else been there other than me? It sucks. And so we had that conversation. She's so supportive and she loves me so much. She's like, hey, do what you need to do. And here's how the conversation went. I said, okay, honey, I'm going to jump in the shower real quick. I have to leave the house by 9:30. It's a half-hour drive to get to this property. I'm going to walk them through it. It's going to take all 15 minutes. Then I'm going to write the contract right then and there. It's going to take another 15 minutes and then a half-hour drive back. Honey, I'll be home by 11. We'll take off for Aspen. We're going to have a great, great day. So I did just that. I showed up right at 10 o'clock. They weren't there. Thinking, what's going on? So I go in the house and I start turning on the lights, getting it staged up and getting it ready, right? I mean, it's 10:10, it's 10:12, it's 10:15. And I'm thinking, they better show up soon because I'm only going to give them another like 2 or 3 hours. That's it. Then I'm cutting them off. All right. Yet they finally show up and we go through this property. And have you ever had the perfect showing? Have you ever had that? The perfect showing? where you step in the foyer and it's like a 10 on a scale from 0 to 10. You go into the living room, it's an 11. You go into the kitchen, it's like a 15. This was the perfect showing, you guys. We spent an hour and a half inside this home. I finally get him to the foyer, walk him down the driveway. I said, so you guys like this home, right? They said, yes. I said, you want to buy this home, don't you? Well, it is for sale. Why don't you buy it? Well, he turns to her and she turns to him and he looks back at me and says, well, Shon, we'll have our real estate agent give you a call. Now, I'm a buyer agent on a team. Yeah, we sold the listing. I didn't get paid. Whose fault was that? It was mine. 100% my fault. How do you think my drive home went, by the way? Do you think it was good? No, I beat the crap out of myself, man. Even worse, how do you think my wife's birthday went? Oh, guys, I was in such a bad mood. It was terrible. So nevertheless, that was the catalyst, though, to the change, where I read a book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. And this applies to your sales business. It applies to agent attraction as well. It's all about systemizing your operation. Now, I was so enthralled with this book that I spent $10,000 of my own money and flew out there, paid for the plane ticket, stayed in a hotel room for 3 nights and spent 2.5 days with Michael Gerber. And I got my E-Myth certification and I came back to the office on fire. I wanted to systemize everything. So the end result was 19 systems manuals to build a team. I systemized the buyer side of the business that I called the 20-point buyer presentation, because there's 20 expectations that must be set. And gang, if you get nothing else from today's call, I want you to get this. The buyer side of your business, it's nothing more and nothing less than setting and managing the appropriate expectations. For example, how many of you guys have ever had a difficult buyer? Anyone? I mean, you had to show them 30 houses and they finally narrow it down to the one that they want to buy. And what kind of an offer do they want to make? A lowball offer. And here's the point, guys. We don't need practice writing contracts. We just don't. We want to write contracts that stick. And because they want to do a lowball offer, whose fault is that? Well, it's ours, because we haven't set and then managed the appropriate expectations. How many of you guys have had somebody go behind your back and buy a for sale by owner? Anyone? Yeah, if you're not raising your hand, you haven't been doing this long enough, because they're going to want to cut you out and they want to save the commission. And yet again, whose fault is that? We've got to set and manage the appropriate expectations. Let me tell you a quick story about the Jones family that I worked with. This is probably, I guess it's 15 years ago now. Yet they thought they were doing the right thing. It was before they met me. They were driving through a neighborhood. They saw a for sale by owner sign and they called the number. They set an appointment. They went and toured the property. They fell in love with this home. And yet, as you know, once you write and negotiate a contract, the first thing you do is your home inspection. So since this was the largest transaction of their life, they decided to hire an attorney just to make sure everything was done appropriately, right? I mean, really smart move on their part. And yet, during the inspection, they found significant foundation damage. The seller wasn't willing to fix it, so they had to terminate the deal. See, not only did they not get the home that they wanted to buy, they got stuck with a $6,000 attorney bill. See, I'm commission-based. You only get paid, I only get paid once you own the home you want to buy. So when you say for sale by owner, you call me first. See, these are the expectations that I'm talking about. By the way, this is part of our accelerated breakthrough program. It's session number 7. We go very deep into the 20-point buyer presentation. The participants, they get all the digital assets, the PowerPoint, the 24 script cards that come along with it, a full-length audio and video of me delivering that presentation. And guys, I got to tell you, this is a game changer, especially in today's market. As the buyer side of your business becomes more important, and it's happening, I think that's critically important. Also in session number 12, we do my listing presentation. Now, my last year in production, I went on 162 listing appointments and I took 160 of those listings. Now, this is a high close ratio presentation And you get that in session number 12 of our program called Accelerated Breakthrough. So I want you to check that out. Yet at the same time, we want to talk about agent attraction. We want to talk about how to build that residual, that passive income. And guys, my organization, I call it Libertas, which is very similar to yours. Libertas is Latin for the word freedom. And you guys are the Freedom Group. Is that right, Shon?
Correct. The Freedom Team. Yes, sir.
The Freedom Team. I like that even more. I like that even more because this creates a community, a culture. And I think we all want to be part of something that's bigger than we can be by ourselves. Yes?
Yeah.
No doubt about that. So I want to share with you a couple of thoughts around how to attract agents. First and foremost, the first step is simply the attraction conversation, just to see if they're open-minded to set an appointment to learn about EXP. Now, how are you doing that? Now, I believe in creating what I call time abundance, and I don't have the time to make those initial calls because I coach back to back to back to back all day long, Monday through Friday. And when I finish my day at 6 p.m. Central, the last thing I want to do is pick up the phone and call an agent, cold call them, or even warm call them to see if they're open-minded to investigate EXP. So I believe in these three powerful words, and I want you to write them down, guys, because this is a game changer, okay? It's who, not you. Who, not you. Who can do that for you? See, left to my own devices, guys, I'm not going to call an agent. I'm just not. And yet my job as a leader is to identify the right talent, to cast a vision, to then explain the why behind the vision, and then create a mutually beneficial compensation model that just demands that they act like an owner. And I trust this is resonating with you guys. See, when they act like an owner, see, I've got an ISA on my team that's setting a minimum of 7 appointments to talk about EXP every week. Okay, we're adding a minimum of 6 agents per month. No, sorry, 6 agents per day to join our team here at Libertas. So gang, this makes all the difference in the world. To find the right talent, get them to do the things that maybe you don't want to do. See, I love having the attraction conversation. I don't love calling the agent to see if they're open-minded to having the attraction conversation. You guys with me?
So you might be digging a little deeper on that, Shon. First of all, got to find an ISA like that. There's one. Is that ISA doing what a lot of us are doing? Are they making the outbound call on your behalf to set the appointment? And if so, can you maybe share with us, how's that conversation going? What are they saying to set that up?
It's phenomenal. It's a really simple script, and I'm happy to share it with you. And I'm glad this is being recorded. I can also post it to the chat. I just have to pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really simple. Hey, Shon, this is John with Shon Kokoszka's team here at Icon Coaching and EXP. And I wonder if you have just 2 minutes for a quick conversation.
Yeah. What you got?
Fantastic. See, Shon Kokoszka, he made the decision to shift to EXP 3.5 years ago. And I got to tell you, it has changed his financial life for the better. It's changed his family for the better. Let me ask, have you actually sat down? Have you taken the time to investigate EXP as it relates to your production, your lead generation, your lead conversion, your stock portfolio, net worth, and your ability to retire from real estate? Actually taking the time, because the finances, the economics are life-changing.
I love it. And that's pretty much the script for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. So have you taken the time? They say, well, no, I haven't. What you're after is the no. So they say, no, I haven't taken the time. Well, that's all good and fine. Yet let me just tell you that EXP is creating more multimillionaires than any other brokerage in the history of real estate. In fact, Shon, they're the fastest growing brokerage in the history of real estate. Let's do this. Let's simply set an appointment for you to meet with Shon Kokoszka one-on-one. He's going to articulate the 8 different ways that you should be being compensated. He's going to share with you how to improve your net income, your net worth, and most importantly, he's going to show you a step-by-step plan that would enable you to retire in the next 3 to 5 years with a little bit of extra effort. So let me ask, when is the best time for you to get together with Shon? Is it mornings or afternoons?
Preferably mornings, early mornings.
No, go ahead and just object. It's fine.
Oh, You know what, right now I'm content with where I'm at. Just, you know, maybe try me another year or so down the road. I like where I'm at.
Well, that's fantastic. It sounds like you're happy. Is that right?
Yeah, things are going well.
Well, that's awesome because we love working with happy people. Now, maybe you don't want any extra money, Shon, yet if Shon could show you how to put an extra $30,000 to $50,000 in your bank account over the course of the next 12 months and every 12 months thereafter, would it be open? I mean, would you be open-minded to just learn about the fastest growing brokerage in the history of real estate?
Can you send me something over I could review first?
Well, sure. I'll send you a quick video. It's just 9 minutes in duration. Yet, why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and just pencil in a time that you think is going to work best for you, the least hectic day in your schedule. And let's just pencil in the time. I'll send you the 9-minute video. You can watch that. And if you don't like what you see, well, we can just cancel the appointment. Fair enough?
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's do Friday morning, 8 a.m.
Love it.
Shoot me the
All
video.
right. And then they follow through CRM Grow, which, by the way, was recently purchased by RedX. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. So it's going to give you all kinds of sales data to grow your sales business. And then we have a series of automations that occur inside of CRM Grow. So they're number one, they're going to receive a text message with a link to that 9-minute video that we all know about. Okay. And that's all baked into the CRM Grow platform. We know whether or not they watched that video. If they don't watch the video within 24 hours, another text message goes out to them, just asking them to please watch the video before our scheduled appointment. Now, if they do watch the video, and most of them do, then they're ejected from that automation into the second step of appointment scheduled, which is a 45-minute video of me talking about the 8 different ways that they should be being compensated. Now, when they watch that, well, if they watch the first one, they watch the second one, guys, this is one of the easiest conversations you'll ever have about getting them to join EXP.
Okay, take us down
So
that path.
you got to think about your automations. Now, I believe that 20% of your energy should be focused on setting the appointment. Okay, 60% of your energy should be focused on getting them to show up. How many of you guys have set an appointment to talk about EXP and they didn't show up? And you've time blocked that time. You're like, okay, well, now what am I going to do? And they don't show up. See, if there's an absence of a perception of value in this conversation, they're going to no-show you at least 60% of the time. So what we start doing is we start focusing on how do we add value. So, and let me back up. I misspoke. The first text message that they get is a video of my son and I, who's helping me build agent attraction. I think it's important to apply leverage in everything that you do. And so I want my son, and by the way, he's 24 years old. He's going to retire by the time he's 28, okay? If he chooses to, because of this model. So it's a video of my son and I, and what we're doing is we're instilling value in the conversation. And I think it's also important to do this with video rather than a text message or an email or something like that. See, 55% of our ability to connect with people and truly influence and persuade them is based on nonverbal. I mean, it's the raise of your eyebrows, it's the smile on your face, it's the use of your hand gestures, right? It's that's 55%. Now, if we're calling them, that 55% is out the window. Now, 38% of our ability to connect with people, and again, influence and persuade them, is based on our inflection patterns, our rate of speech, our use of pause, how loudly you speak or how softly you speak. 38% is based on that. So if you're calling them, yes, you get access to that 38%. Yeah, 7% that's left over, that's the words that we use. So if you're just sending a text, hey, I want to confirm that we're going to meet today at 3 o'clock. Guys, you're not influencing them. You're not persuading them. And I've seen so many presentations about EXP, and yes, they're all informative, yet very few of them are persuasive. So the real question, or the right question, is how do we increase the persuasion when communicating with others? So I want to share with you exactly how to do that. Is that okay with you guys?
Please.
I'm going to share my screen here. So I want to talk about the attraction conversation. You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So again, many are informative, yet very few are persuasive. So let's talk about the persuasion. I want to talk to you about the psychology of recruiting. See, a lot of times you'll speak with an agent. They say, well, I'm at Remax. I'm happy where I'm at. And then what you do is you start EXPing on them, don't you? I understand you're happy where you're at. Yet if you join EXP, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to be able to retire, you're going to do that. That's positive present to positive future. Now I'm talking about their mindset. They're in a positive present mindset. I'm at Remax. I'm happy where I'm at. And what we try to do is push them to a more positive future. And gang, that's not how we can change somebody's mind. It doesn't work that way. So we're going to put a big X between positive present and positive future. It's not how it works. What we are going to do is we're going to move them from a positive present mindset to a negative present mindset. Once we get them to a negative present mindset, then it's about negative future. And once they're at a negative future mindset, it's so easy to push them to this positive future mindset. So how do we do that? Any thoughts from the group? Talk to me. How do you push them to a negative present mindset and then to negative future? Talk to me.
I guess one that comes to mind real quick. So what would happen if the economy completely changed, interest rates were to skyrocket, limited, homes for sale, and all of a sudden your income was cut in half or less? What would you do? That's the first thought that comes to my mind.
I love it. Yes. So you're putting them into more of a negative present and also at the same time negative future. I love it. I'm going to share with you a very simple way to make this happen, guys. It's a simple survey. It's a rating system. And I'm going to make this as easy as I possibly can for you guys to implement and deploy within your own business. Okay. So they're in a positive present. I'm at Remax. I'm happy where I'm at. We overcome the objections. We get them to at least take the time to investigate EXP. Now, when I get on the phone with them or on the Zoom meeting, and by the way, I've only had one face-to-face recruiting appointment for EXP, only one. And the person did not join EXP, and it cost me lunch for 4 of their team members. Okay. I do everything via Zoom because it's so easy. It's just so much better, so much faster, so much more efficient. So I'm going to start the call and I'm going to say, so today we're going to talk about whatever you choose to talk about. This call is all about you. So tell me what needs to happen over the course of the next 20 minutes for you to hang up the Zoom meeting and say, hey, Shon, that was like a 15 or 20 on a scale from 0 to 10. What needs to happen?
If you can truly show me how I could set up a retirement, how I could increase my income by $50,000 this year, I'm open.
All right, Shon, I'm all in. That's going to be my job today to make sure that we cover that. Now, before we just dive into that, I believe that prescription before diagnosis is like malicious malpractice. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
If they push back, then you say, well, could you imagine going to the doctor and say, hey, doc, I've had a headache for 3 days. And he says, say no more. I just scheduled you for brain surgery tomorrow, right? No, they don't do it that way. We're going to diagnose before we prescribe. So with that said, I'm going to ask you to rate yourself and even better, your brokerage rather, on a scale from 0 to 10 on 5 different points so we can do a true apples to apples comparison. Are you with me?
Yeah, maybe say that again real quick. I was writing that down. That one liner you said, I heard it about a year ago. That was a genius. Well, you want me to give those 5? Say it again, Shon, what you just asked.
So I'm going to ask you to rate your current brokerage on a scale from 0 to 10 on 5 different points so we can do an apples to apples comparison. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. With you.
Fantastic. So let me give you context to the 0 to 10 rating system. You might want to write this down. You don't have to. Yet a 0, 1, or 2 is poor, in need of immediate improvement. A 3 or 4 is fair. 5 or 6 is good in varying degrees. 7 or 8 is very good. 9 or 10 is excellent. So any questions before we dive into the assessment?
No, I'm ready.
Fair enough. So the first category I want you to rate your current brokerage on is the technology platform that they're providing to you to generate more leads, set more appointments, complete more contracts, make more money. How would you rate that 0 to 10?
Probably a 5.
5. Okay, so it's good. By the way, let me give you additional context to the 0 to 10 rating system. Okay, when you respond, give me just one number. For example, if you give it a 5, that's the lower end of 5, of good, rather, meaning that it's stuck, it's a little bit stagnant, that there's no real plan in place to bring it to very good or excellent. A 6, on the other hand, the upper end of good, means that you're working a plan, you're working a system, and it's trending toward very good or excellent. Are you with me?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So again, how would you rate the technology platform that they're providing to you to generate more leads, set more appointments, complete more contracts, and make more money? 0 to 10.
Yeah, be honest with you, Shon, it's probably a 3 or 4. I don't get leads or anything from them. I use my own platform, a lot of my own tools.
Okay, so is it a 3 or is it a 4?
Probably a 3. I mean, I'm doing it all myself. I generate all that.
Gotcha. So the low end of fair or tolerable, I guess, right? So I'm going to write the number down. Okay. Second category. And by the way, I would encourage you to just ask the question, what is happening that's causing you to give it a 3 instead of a 10?
I've been using my own systems for the last several years and just don't want to take the time to change. Everything's been going fine with what I'm doing. So I really don't need to utilize that. But my company truly doesn't offer that anyway. There's not any kind of system in place to have leads generated and sent to our agents.
Gotcha. So at this point, I'm letting you vent just a little bit, right? And I'm going to ask, okay, what's your plan to move that from a 3 to a 10?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I just continue to get, if I may need another buyer's agent in place, somebody else to help continue manage my database so that more leads can come my way. It's, like I said, things have been going fine. Shon, it could get better. But it's up to me and just continuing to implement my own systems and make them better.
Gotcha. So as I ask that question, what is your plan to move that from a 3 to a 10? What a lot of people recognize is they don't have a plan. And they recognize this is why they're on this call. You guys with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so the second category, I want you to rate your current broker on their ability to educate you, to train you. And let me just ask the question. Do you believe that your business, your production, your net income and net worth, it's going to grow to the extent that you personally grow? Do you believe in that statement?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. So how would you rate your brokerage on their ability to improve your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your habits? 0 to 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6. We have 3 trainings that are offered every week. I usually do one of them, and then we have a couple other people come in, but I do notice if I attend them from time to time, I'm going to grab a nugget here and there, but it'd be nice if there was a little bit more training, but for the most part, we're getting the foundation built.
Gotcha. Well, let me ask, is it important for you to improve that category?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'd like to.
Perfect. All right. So the third category, I want you to rate your current brokerage on their ability to provide you with equity, stock, and ownership based on your production, or even sell you stock at a discount. How would you rate that 0 to 10?
We do not offer any kind of equity.
So it's a 0.
0.
Ouch. Well, I can relate. I started with Remax. I made Dave Liniger, the founder of Remax, a mountain of money. Never received any stock equity ownership. I joined Keller Williams. In fact, I started their coaching and training division for them, and made Gary Keller millions and millions of dollars. I mean, the last year I was there, we grossed over 100 million in the coaching company. We net over 42 million, and yet I never received any stock equity ownership, none of that. So I can relate, and we're going to talk about that today if you're open-minded to it. Next category, and this takes a little unpacking, okay? Yet you're familiar with Redfin, Open Door, Orchard. They're iBuyer platforms, right, that are going direct to consumer. They're not paying any commissions. In fact, they're heavily funded and they want to put you and I out of business. So how would you rate your current broker on their ability to provide you with the opportunity to go to any homeowner in your state and give them a cash offer within 24 hours, close as soon as 10 business days with 0 financial risk or obligation on your part? How would you rate that?
0. We don't have anything in place like that.
Ouch. Well, again, we're going to talk about that today if you're open-minded to it. Now, the final category. How would you rate your current broker on their ability to provide you with a residual and passive income to get you off the transactional treadmill and actually be able to retire in the next 3 to 5 years? So I'm talking exit strategy with residual and passive income, how would you rate your brokerage on their ability to provide you with that? 0 to 10.
0. Shon, we don't have that either.
Okay, so out of a possible score of 50, you've rated your brokerage at a 9. Now, if we use the academic grading system, that would be an 18%, which is definitely not a passing grade. Yet, how do you feel about that number? Do you believe it's accurate? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's accurate. We don't have those other things. And I was somewhat aware, Shon, before the call, but I never heard the details about the equity and then the revenue share and stuff. So I'll be honest, you piqued my interest. So let's kind of dig in.
Okay. So at this point, because you just said, yes, you believe that that number is accurate, you're now at a negative present mindset. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, people start hating their brokerage once we go through this assessment. They really do. Then it's a matter of pushing them to a negative future. So I'll say, Shon, let me just ask, do you believe in this statement that if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got?
Yes, I do.
Do you also believe that in order to get to better, we must get to different?
Yeah, something's got to change. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what is your business, your life, your income, your production, your fulfillment? What does that all look like if you stay at the same brokerage in 5 years? What does that all look? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already working right now 60 to 70 hours, Shon. It's hard to fathom, other than increasing the price of the homes or me just trying to bring on some more assistants or buying agents, which obviously could cost me some money. So, I mean, I'm kind of at a peak right now without me raising my expenses.
Gotcha. So, Shon, would you agree that you're now in a negative future mindset? Because we brought up, what does it look like 5 years down the road?
Yeah. Or I could say stagnant. How about that?
A lot of people do. Yeah, they'll just say, hey, more of the same. And I might bring up the fact that, sure, you can make more money in real estate sales. I mean, trust me, I've sold over 4,000 homes in my real estate career. I've made millions of dollars. And yes, you can make more money, yet you're going to pay for that extra money with what?
My time and my money.
With your time, with your freedom. Now, the only thing that I've found that has increased my freedom and my income at exactly the same time is EXP. And we're going to get into that today. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. I'm open ears.
So now it's about positive future. See, this entire conversation, have I talked about EXP at all? I mean, other than what I just said about the freedom and income at the same time, I have not mentioned anything about EXP, really.
Genius.
We've got to just take them through this psychological process. So then I'm going to say, okay, Shon, you rated your current brokerage on the technology platform that they're providing to you a 3 on a scale from 0 to 10. Are you open-minded to learning about how we can almost magically shift that to a 10?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So I'm going to tell them about KV Core, tell them about the IDX website. I'll tell them about making it rain. And if they invested $1,000 a month, they're guaranteed to generate 100 to 160 leads every month. Then I'm going to ask them, what do you like the most about that aspect of the model? Talk to me. What do you like the most? See, we want to keep this a very positive conversation when we shift to EXP. You guys with me on this? Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what do you like the most about that aspect of the model? This is when they start leaning in and start selling me on why they should join EXP.
So I'm assuming, Shon, you've got either data and stuff to kind of back up if someone spent $1,000 a month with the Make It Rain program.
Yeah, just go to EXP Enterprise, guys. Click on Making It Rain. You're going to see all the details there. And if you spent $1,000 a month, you are guaranteed to generate 100 to 160 leads every month. If you spent as little as $250, you're guaranteed to generate 25 to 40 leads every single month. And it's literally a guarantee where they will refund your money if you're not getting the number of leads that they're guaranteeing. Well, all they're going to do is just increase the ad spend.
May I ask a question just for the audience, whether they're listening or recording? On that Make It Rain, do you really find that it's much different than the other programs out there where you can buy leads? Is it pretty similar? Do you think ours might be a little bit better? What are your thoughts there?
Leads are leads. I think it's average. I mean, it's sufficient, yet it's average. Okay. There are other platforms out there that are more robust. Like, for example, the Sync platform. That's what I use on my real estate sales team. In fact, I started out 8 months ago to prove that I could build a profitable real estate sales team by investing 30 minutes a week and $2,200 a month. And we have done that. It is profitable. So I engaged with the director of sales, put her in charge of recruiting, retention, revenue, and reproduction. And I invest 30 minutes a week in a coaching session with them. And she's gone out and recruited agents. We're providing them with the leads. We set it up in a round robin type format. We started with a jump ball. It didn't really work that well, yet round robin is working efficiently. And it's profitable. So the thing is, and I want to go back to those 3 powerful words that I asked you to write down. Somebody tell me, what were those 3 powerful words?
Who, not you.
Good job. You're my favorite person right now, by the way. Thank you. It's who, not you. See, it's about creating time abundance. And I'm accused every day of being, living a highly leveraged life. And yet in the United States today, gang, we live a highly leveraged life. You guys with me on this? I mean, think about it. I haven't been to a grocery store in 4 years. It shows up at my front doorstep. Okay. How many of you guys are wearing a shirt today or a blouse? I hope you are. Yet, did you make that shirt? No, of course not. You didn't make it. No, you paid a company who paid somebody to make it. And so it's just a matter of taking that mindset, you guys. And again, if there's one thing you take away from this call, I want it to be this. It's about who, not you. It's about being a leader. It's about stepping up your ability to create and then cast a vision, to explain the why behind the accomplishment of the vision, and then create mutually beneficial compensation models that will allow you to accomplish what you choose to accomplish. Now we're going to go back to the attraction conversation. So we talked about education next, right? That EXP offers over 80 hours of live training every single week inside the virtual campus called the Metaverse or the EXP world. 80 hours of live training every week, which is 30 times what most brokerages offer. And if you choose to improve the strength of your foundation, and see, there's 4 things that make up the strength of your foundation. It's your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your habits. And with the right foundation, gang, you can build your business as big as you want to build it. No doubt about that. So EXP is the answer to strengthen that foundation so you can build an incredible empire. And that's what we want to help you do. Here at the Libertas Group, that's exactly what we do. We pour into our people. We educate them. Every single person who joins Libertas gets to take our accelerated breakthrough program free of charge as many times as they want to. Now, that's a program that I'd encourage each of you to investigate. If you choose to, it's 16 weeks of coaching and training for, hear this, just $350. And we're going to give you over $10,000 worth of add-on products, including like a DIY social media program that my friend Grant Wise, who I've partnered with, has created. You're going to get my buyer presentation, my listing presentation. You're going to get NLP training. You're going to get my business planning methodology that I've taught to organizations like McDonald's and Panasonic and FedEx and Pepsi and a whole bunch of companies and about 5,000 others you've never heard of yet. You're going to get that methodology. It works for them. It works for me here at Icon Coaching, and it will definitely work for you. No doubt about that. So that's inclusive. It's literally soup to nuts, everything that you need to understand about how to double, triple, or even quadruple your production. Guys, at $350, this is a no-brainer. I've cut out all the fat. I frankly don't make much money off this program, yet I don't care about that. What I care about is your longevity at EXP. See, when EXP is winning, we're all winning. We want that stock to go higher and higher and higher, okay? So check it out. You can go to iconcoaching.com, go to the programs tab, and just check out Accelerated Breakthrough. So, back to the attraction conversation. So you talk about the technology platform, you talk about the education, Then you talk about the stock, and you share with them all of the details around the stock. And I can go a little bit deeper on this yet. Give me a time frame here. How are we doing?
Good. We got about 11 minutes. But hey, if we need to go 5 or 10 minutes over, Shon, please do. If you're okay with it. It's good stuff.
Right on. So we're going to talk about the stock. All right. So upon your first closed transaction, DXP, they just give you $200 worth of EXP stock. Their ticker is EXPI. I encourage you to look it up. It's traded publicly on NASDAQ. You know, if you attract an agent, or when you attract an agent, when I help you attract an agent, well, then they're going to give you $400 of EXP stock upon their first closed transaction. Once you cap, you'll get another $400 of EXP stock. Now, to be clear, in order to cap, all you need to do is make $80,000 in gross commission income, and I will definitely help you get there. So 80,000 times 20% that you're going to pay to EXP on an 80-20 split, that's some total of 16,000. Then you get 100% of your commissions thereafter until which time your cap does reset, and it resets on an annualized basis. So let me ask, what do you like the most about that aspect of the model?
Receiving stock for stuff I'm already doing.
Yeah. Let me digress. I'm going to share a quick story with you. There's a guy that I coach in Houston, really just an incredible human being. Now, sadly, 6 years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer. In fact, he's stage 4 cancer. He was given 2 years to live. And here we are 6 years later. And this guy's got the best attitude that I've ever experienced. I mean, he is so positive. He is so kind. He is just, every time you talk to him, you just leave that conversation feeling like a better person. And it's my honor to coach with him and consult him through his business growth. And he's done really well. And yet, even though he's such a great guy, you know, sadly, relationships don't always work out. And his wife decided that she was going to divorce him. And when she decided that, she went in, they had joint business accounts, and she cleared out every cent of the money, just pulled it away. And while that's not legal, while that's not right, she did that. So he called me in a panic. Shon, what am I going to do? I said, well, you've been with the EXP for 6 years. Tell me about your EXP stock. And he hadn't really paid much attention to that. Obviously, with all of his health stuff going on and all of that, he had over $200,000 worth of EXP stock. He quickly cashed some of that in and was able to sustain his business and really build it back up. So here's my point. He could not have done that if he weren't with EXP. I want to tell you about the direct stock purchase program. See, EXP, if you choose to, it's totally optional. They'll take 5% of your gross commission income every month, and whatever stock's trading for the last day of the month, they're going to sell you EXP stock at a 10% discount. Now, there are no restrictions to the stock. You could literally buy it today, trade it, or sell it tomorrow. You own it outright. It's kind of like buying $10 bills for $9 a piece. And if you could buy $10 bills for $9 a piece, how many would you want to buy? All of them. Right? All of them. Okay. So the next point was the iBuyer platform. Now, let me describe this, because many of you on this call maybe don't understand the power of this aspect of the model. And to me, is one of the most powerful aspects of the model. So when you get your EXP Express Offer certification, there are 6 modules of training that you must go through. It takes about 10 hours. There's a test you have to take at the end. How many of you guys have your Express Offer cert? Anyone? Yeah, I see Eugene, your hand is up. Fantastic. Good job, man. Very smart. So once you get that certification, you can go to anybody in your state and give them a cash offer within 24 hours, close as soon as 10 business days, provided the property matches the buyer box of the wholesalers that EXP is engaged with. Now, to qualify to be a wholesaler with EXP through the iBuyer platform, they must have purchased at least 30 properties in the last 12 months. They vet their financials, and then they approve them to be an EXP iBuyer through Express Offers. Now, these wholesalers, they love you guys. They absolutely love you because you are the army of agents that are going out and helping them identify deals. Now, let's just say that you did a video, you're going to post it to social, or you send out a postcard to a geo-targeted community. And it says something like, thinking of selling your house, don't worry about painting your walls, replacing your carpet, staging your house, or having buyers come walk through. I'll give you a cash offer. Within 24 hours, we close as soon as 10 business days. If you choose to, interested, pick up the phone, give me a call, or DM me, or however you choose, whatever modality to get the awareness factor out there. Now, you're going to receive many seller leads that are people like saying, hey, Shon, I want my cash offer. So you take the property details, you upload it to Express Offers. You're going to receive multiple cash offers. You take the highest one along with the net sheet over to that seller, and you present it just like this. Now, Mr. and Ms. Seller, you don't have to accept this cash offer through Express Offers if you don't choose to. Yet, if you do, for immediate liquidation and as is, no repairs cash offer, you're going to pay a premium. And here's what you would net, just like with Orchard, just like with Redfin and Open Door. Now, if you'd prefer, we could take it to the open market. And based on those homes that have recently sold, the houses you'd be competing with for a buyer, here's what you would net. After closing costs, here's what you would net, significantly more than the cash offer. Now, given the two choices, which would you prefer? Now, guys, I've done all the research on Express Offers. With over 200,000 cash offers that eXp Express Offers been putting forward, 97% of them reject the cash offer. And they probably list with the eXp agent who brought it to them. See, this is, it's a bit of a lost leader concept. You guys familiar with lost leader? It was a car dealership strategy where on a Saturday morning, they would get on the TV and they would talk about this one car that you could buy for $15,000 below MSRP. And the people would drive down to the car lot and they would like, I want to see that car. And they're, well, it's around here somewhere. They lost the car or they sold the car already. Oh, and by the way, since you're here, why don't you look at this car? Why don't you look at that car, right? So it's kind of a lost leader concept, and yet success leaves clues. There are two organizations or three organizations that come to mind that I coach that offer the cash offer, like Mark Spain's organization. He's based in Alpharetta, Georgia. He's now opened in 7 different states. And their #1 lead generation strategy for seller lead gen is the cash offer. By the way, he and his team, they closed 8,800 transactions last year alone. When I met him, he was closing around 50 transactions. Okay, so we applied strategy, we applied tactic, we applied organizational structure, compensation models, and we grew his organization to the point that the guy's making millions and millions every year. I think of Chris Waters, 5,600 transactions last year. He's local in my market here in Austin. 5,600 deals. Again, #1 lead strategy is the cash offer. Think of Lance Logan. He's down in Houston, 4,200 deals last year. By the way, 80% of which were listing side business because he offers the cash offer. I asked Lance, in fact, I have another client, Dallas Seeley, who, by the way, jumped from 40 million in production once they hired me to over 300 million in production within 18 months. Yet he's doing the exact same thing. And we went down and we spent a day with Lance Logan, Dallas and I. And I was going from there was, oh yeah, here's the point. So Dallas asked him the question. He said, you're doing this cash offer, and now Lance is doing it personally, meaning he doesn't leverage eXp Express Offers. In fact, he's not with eXp because he's stupid. Yet he does this cash offer personally. Dallas asked him, okay, how many homes have you had to purchase and how long have you been doing this? He said, I've been doing it since 2016 and I bought 1 house. Yet the point is, it's all about lead generation. It's about making your phone ring. Are you guys with me on this?
Yeah.
Now imagine you're not with eXp and we're having this conversation because this is exactly how my attraction conversations go. Imagine we're having this conversation. Are you leaning in just a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the final point, which is residual and passive income. to enhance your ability to retire. And I'm going to pull up a document. I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me 1 second. I thought I had it in my lower tray and I do not. Sorry about that, guys.
All good.
Just 2 seconds here. So I want to talk to you about what it feels like to be financially free. And, quite frankly, it, to me, is a feeling of disorientation. It truly is. I mean, because I've made millions of dollars over the course of my career with, my real estate sales, with building KW MAPS and MAPS business training and consulting for all these Fortune 500 companies. Guys, I've made millions of dollars. And yet, this is a feeling of disorientation. See, I was always beholden to something or someone else to make that money. I had to do this. I had to do that. I had to show up at the office at 7:30 every morning and I would stay until 7:30 at night. I had to do those things. Yet at EXP, I don't have to do a damn thing. In fact, my wife and I we just got back from Playa del Carmen down in Mexico, one of our favorite places to be. And we're walking down the beach and I said, honey, we could stay here for the next 5 years if we choose to, and we would never worry about money, thanks to this model. And this is the feeling of disorientation that I want you to experience. And yes, I'm talking to each and every one of you. I want you to feel that feeling of disorientation. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen. How many of you guys want to feel that, by the way? Just knowing that you don't have to do a damn thing. And that money just shows up in your account on before the 22nd of every month. It's just, it's strange. That's all I can say. And I just love it. And I'm sure you will too. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I always finish my attraction conversations with revenue share. So I'm going to walk them through how the model actually works, that it goes 7 levels deep. Second column is the amount of money you're paid up to per agent per year. Third column is how to unlock the power of all 7 levels of revenue share. The fourth column is how you get paid. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I mean, if you've attracted 1 to 4 agents to your first level, you are only compensated at level 1's production. You do get a small percentage of the lower levels, yet you don't get paid the full amount. Once you've attracted your 5th agent to your front line, you've unlocked levels 1 and 2. Your 10th agent to your front line, you've unlocked 1, 2, and 3. You can see it goes in increments of 5. Once you hit 30 agents in your front line, gang, you don't worry about money anymore. You really don't. So let's talk about how the money is actually distributed. So let's say you attract an agent to your first level. They close a transaction and make $10,000 in gross commission income. They're in an 80-20 split with EXP. So how much is retained by the agent?
8,000.
And how much does EXP collect?
20. Or excuse me, 2.
2,000. So of the 2,000 that EXP collects, they're going to give you 17.5% of every one of those dollars. See, EXP, they pay out 50% of the gross revenue that they gain through agent splits and cap contribution right back to the agents like you and I who help them grow. So in our example of a $10,000 commission, $350 is directly deposited right into your account on or before the 22nd of the following month. And then that $350 that you've collected is deducted from the $2,800, and you keep getting paid for that agent, guaranteed. There are no expenses taken out of this. It's based on gross revenue until you've reached $2,800. You guys with me on this? Yes?
Yeah.
Any questions? How are we doing?
Good.
So that agent at your level 1 goes out and attracts an agent to your level 2. You get 20%. So in our example, you'd get $400 deposited directly into your account. This is the true leverage of the model that I want you to understand. Now, these numbers would be for capping agents. And yet, simply put, if they sell just 1 house a year, you still get paid. Are you with me on this? Now, for capping agents, these are the amounts of numbers. I've done the research, and I'm going to give you the mathematical cheat, okay? This is the shortcut. Because not all agents are capping agents, and we're paid different amounts at different tiers. The average income to you per month per agent is going to be about $61. Now, this number suggests that the average agent is going to earn about $20,000 per year in gross commission income, paying EXP $4,000. Any questions about that? How we doing? Good. I've also learned that the average rev share group grows at a rate of about 10% per month. Now, my organization is growing at an average rate of 21.2% per month over the course of the last 3.5 years. And we can get into the reasons why, yet it's all about knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits to give them a rock solid foundation. And Shon, this is exactly what you and Jeff are doing, no doubt. You guys are trying to pour into the agents to let them experience this feeling of disorientation. So there's no limit to the number of agents you can have at your first level. So I say get to 50 as fast as you possibly can. So how many months, and again, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint, okay? How many months do you think, with my help, it would take you to get to 50 agents in your first level? Could you do 1 a month? Could you do 2 a month? Talk to me.
I think 1 a month would probably be realistic if I implemented these things.
Yeah, so it'll take you 50 months to get to 50 agents. By the way, if you said you could do 2 a month, I just simply change that to 25 months to get to 50 agents. And I'm going to change the first cell to 2. But let's say you could do 1 a month with my help, okay? This top section of the pro forma, all 7 levels. Level 1, you're attracting 1 agent a month. Now, again, at a 10% per month growth rate, let me show you what happens. And this is the true leverage of the model. See, smart people in business, they apply leverage. It's about who, not you. You guys with me? People who are at Remax or at Sotheby's or Compass, well, they're being leveraged. I hope this makes sense. So rather than being leveraged, let's apply leverage. And here's how we do it. When you start attracting agents, you can see how it begins to cascade into the different tiers. So you've attracted 12 agents to your first level. You have 25 agents in your organization. On the lower section of this part of the pro forma, all 7 levels, this has to do with the revenue and how much money you're going to make. Now, again, you can see how it begins to cascade into different tiers. You can see here how it starts building month after month after month. Now, at the end of 12 months, you're making about $1,400 a month. Not a lot to write home about, no doubt. It's $7,100 for the year. Please compare that to your $16,000 per year cap. And I've already talked to them about the Icon Agent Award, how they're going to get their $16,000 back anyway, and all of that stuff, right? Now look at year 2, all 7 levels. You're just attracting 1 agent a month. You'd end with 24 agents in your first level, 114 agents in your organization. Now you're earning about $6,500 per month, $44,000 for the year. Now, again, compare that to your $16,000 cap. See, thanks to EXP, it's no longer about what we pay to the brokerage. It's about what the brokerage pays us. You guys with me on this?
Yeah.
Look at year 3. It starts getting a lot more exciting. You'd have 36 agents in your first level, over 400 agents in the organization, $23,000 per month, about $170,000 for the year. Now, most agents I know, they don't wake up stressed out about their finances, their economic status at $23,000 a month. Most agents, okay? Knowing that that money's going to show up into your account month after month. In fact, I remember when my revenue share exceeded $25,000 per month, my wife turned to me and she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening." And I said, what's so cool about this, man, is that that's the last time we're going to make less than $25,000 a month to EXP, because it's growing month after month after month. There's this synergy that happens. And by the way, it's what I call momentum. Like we go from foundation, we go to pipeline, we go to momentum, then it's about leverage, and then it's mastery, okay? Yet at this position of momentum, it's going to occur for you guys at about 125 agents in your group. And there's no easy way to say this, and I'm going to use some really foul language. I hope that's okay. It is a fucking pain in the ass to go to 125 agents. It sucks. Yet once you hit 125, guys, it just takes a life of its own. It just grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. You can't even stop it, okay? Even if you wanted to. So you look at year 4, and I don't want to blow your minds yet. You got 48 agents in your front line, 77,000 per month, 580,000 for the year. Look at year 5. 3,500 agents in the organization, 217,000 a month, 1.7 million per year. Okay, guys, this is private jet kind of money. You understand that? Yes. This is doing what you want, when you want, where you want. So let's go back up to year 3. And by the way, to show you how conservative the performance is, I've been with the EXP for 3.5 years. Suggest I'd have 732 agents in the organization. I've got over 2,600. Suggest they're paying me 44,000 a month. They're paying me a hell of a lot more than that. This is a very conservative performance. It just depends on how you choose to attack it. Now, I've invested 3 to 5 hours per week in building my rev share organization. That's really about it. Yet what I've done is I've applied leverage. In fact, I've invested a couple of $100,000 into what I call CAI. It's conversational artificial intelligence, where we did a test on Friday. It called 500 agents in 10 minutes, and it set 8 appointments. I had a 45-minute conversation with it just this morning. 45-minute conversation. And you can't even tell that it's a robot. It is so incredible what is going to happen with technology, you guys. In fact, we're going to be rolling out this product here in the next couple of weeks for CAI. If you guys are interested, it's really simple. It's a $3,000 setup fee. It's $350 per month, and it's 11 cents a minute. So $6.60 a minute. If you want this conversational artificial intelligence agent to just reach out to a list of agents, brokerages, and it'll do it very, very efficiently. It never calls in sick. You don't have to give it a 401k or give it a bonus. It doesn't take a coffee break or a bathroom break. It just calls. And so if you're open-minded to that, then I would just encourage you to figure out how to track me down. In fact, I'll just put in my email address into the chat. I'm not that great at email yet. I will get back to you eventually.
And Shon, this PowerPoint that you went through, and then these Excel screenshots, is that something you can share as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal. And then to find out more, is there a website in regards to this CAI? Or like, I know you said track you down, but is there something to help you leverage yourself so not everybody's emailing you? Is there a site we can go to get more info?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. I'll just give you iconcoaching.com. Okay. And what I want you to do is just schedule a one-on-one consultation, and we'll talk you through that platform if it's something that you're interested in. I mean, it's not for everybody, and I totally get that, yet it's definitely for me. Because again, I'm back-to-back coaching calls all day long. I don't have the time to reach out to these people, and I'm paying my ISA to do this, and yet, you know, they don't show up all the time, if that makes sense. They don't perform at the level that I need them to perform at, and so I'm just fed up with that. This is why I started my own mortgage company, my own title company, because I was tired of dealing and trying to build a business on the empty promises of other people. It didn't work. So I'm going to give you guys the close, and I'm very transparent with the people I'm on the attraction call with. And I just say, hey, Shon, are you ready for the close? Are you open-minded to let me try to close you to join EXP?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so here's the close, buddy. Okay. We've talked about a lot of things, and I've really enjoyed our conversation. And now it's time to go to the close. So imagine with me, just for a moment, that we're having a conversation 3 years from today. 3 years from today, and you say, Shon, I am so grateful that I just threw caution to the wind. I joined EXP right after our initial conversation. I've got over 400 agents in my organization, Shon. They're paying me $23,000 a month. So tell me, Shon, what would you do with the extra money?
I'd move to the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, it's beautiful. I grew up in Colorado. That is awesome. What else would you do? Would you travel?
Absolutely. I'd probably take a half a dozen. What's that?
Would you buy a new car, maybe?
Yep. Done that, and probably take a half a dozen vacations a year. It would be life-changing.
Where would you go? So here's what I'm doing. I'm writing down everything Shon's telling me, okay? I'm writing it all down because I'm going to leverage that to get him to join EXP now, okay? So I say, Shon, that all sounds fantastic. Yet tell me, if you stay at Remax, how can you do that?
I feel you, Shon. I can't, brother.
You can't.
This looks
No
good.
doubt about that. Now, by the way, when you ask that question, you just shut your mouth. You let them talk first. Okay. So again, Shon, let's go back to this conversation that we're going to have 3 years from today. You say, Shon, I'm so grateful that we had that conversation. I joined EXP. They're paying me $23,000 a month, and it's growing month after month after month. By the way, you're taking at least 6 vacations every year. You're investing in real estate. You bought a new car. Whatever they told me, I'm going to loop back to that. Let me ask, would that make you happy?
Extremely.
Would it make your family happy?
Absolutely.
And would it make you and your family happier than you are right now?
You bet. Where's the contract?
So, Shon, let me ask, do you deserve to be happier than you are right now?
Yes, sir.
So I just posted the join application for EXP into the chat. It takes about, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes to complete. Unless you're a reader, it might take 15 minutes. Yet let's stay on the Zoom meeting and let's complete that right now. Now, once you do that, it's a non-committal step, okay? Meaning you can rescind it at any time. And yet once you complete it, I'm going to pair you with our onboarding concierge staff member. They're not an EXP employee. I employ them. You don't have to pay them. I do. By the way, anybody you attract that joins EXP, you don't have to pay them. I do. Okay. So they're going to take you through a full tour of all the technology behind the curtain here at EXP. They'll show you a demo of KV Core, EXP Enterprise, EXP Workplace. They'll show you the EXP world and give you a handheld guided tour through that. They'll show you how to sign up for training programs. They'll show you how to get access to discounts through our vendors. So by completing the application, the next step, again, it's non-committal, it's completely confidential, is that you would jump on a call with my concierge onboarding staff member. So let's go ahead and complete the application right now. What do you say?
I like it. I'm in.
That's the close, guys.
That's awesome, Shon. I've obviously seen you do this one other time. We need to implement it. Is there a way, if not now, we can get that PowerPoint sent over? That's awesome.
Yeah, let me, I've got to extract those slides from the deck, yet
Okay.
we can do that. I'll send you also the rev share calculator.
Perfect. And if you don't mind, I'll reach back out to Paula later, man. We would love to book you a date in the future for the production side, if you're okay with it, sometime the next few months.
You got it. I've got a lot of ideas.
I know we're, as you're posting that, guys, we're way over, and I sincerely appreciate your time, Shon, all those for hanging on. I don't know if there's even just one or two very pressing questions we could do very quickly. Anybody got just a question they're dying to ask?
Can I ask just a quick one, Shon? How far do you go at the end with the rev share? You know, because I do get this a lot of times when I'm talking to, oh, I just don't want to recruit. I'm not a recruiter, but I try and hit them. Again, I do the pain point thing as well. I've learned that from you. So, a lot of times they want more business. They want more production. They want more leads. I mean, we tend to land more there. I do hit all the other stuff, but how far do you go into the revenue share piece at the end if they've kind of put the wall up? Like, I just don't even want to, like, I'm not interested in that, or that's not something I want to do. Do you,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they get intrigued by it when you start showing them. I mean, I've
Sure.
seen that happen too, but how far do you go with that?
Yeah. Well, so first off, I say, when I show somebody this model, and I always posture, okay, when I say it goes 7 levels deep, a lot of people, they freak out on me. They're like, is this a multi-level marketing company? Is this
Right.
a pyramid scheme? And so I just address that right up front. See, when is the best time to handle an objection?
Immediately.
Before they ask it.
There you go, Jeff. It's before it becomes an objection. So I'm just going to hit it up straight. Like when I pulled up that spreadsheet and I showed the 7 layers, I just say a lot of people freak out on me here. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I just want you to open your mind. And by the way, do you believe that you have an open mind or a closed mind? Now, if you asked 1,000 people, do you have an open mind or a closed mind? What are 1,000 people going to say?
Open.
Yeah, open mind. Perfect. So let's just set any judgment aside. Let's just, in fact, imagine you just threw it out the window, okay? That we're going to have a very open mind. We're going to talk about this. And if they push back at the end, they're like, yeah, I'm not interested in recruiting. Well, so what you're telling me is you're just not really great at recruiting. Is that possibly true? You say, well, yeah, well, let me tell you that every master was once a disaster. And it doesn't matter if you suck at recruiting, because I'm a great recruiter and I'm going to do it for you. Would it be okay with you if I added agents to your front line and you started getting residual and passive income? Are you open-minded to that? In fact, have you heard of a term called tap rooting?
Mm-hmm.
So tap rooting is a MLM term, right? Which means that you're going to attract people and you're going to put them into the front line of the agents in your front line, or the front line of your agents in your third line, or fourth or fifth. So all I need from you is to give me the names, phone numbers, email addresses of 10 agents that you know that like you and respect you, that won't hang up on me when I use your name. Can you do that for me? And I'm going to have my ISA then reach out to them to set an appointment, and then I'm going to add them right to their front line. See, there's 4 quadrants, guys, that we must focus on. It's recruiting, number 1. That's always going to be paramount, right? Number 2 is retention, and the easiest way to retain agents is to add agents to their front line. Third is revenue, or per agent production. So how are we going to add value to them to increase their sales volume? And then fourth is reproduction. Again, I place an extreme emphasis on reproduction. This is the true leverage of this model. This is the smartest thing that you can do, in my humble opinion. I don't care if you have two people in your organization, 0 people in your organization. The point is that once you get them to align with you, it's a matter of just pouring into them, just adding value to them. So one of the easiest ways to do that is just to leverage, Shon and Jeff's training program. Just get them plugged in, because if you can increase their knowledge, their skills. Now, knowledge to me means they're going to know what to do. They're going to know what to say. Okay. Skills, they know how to do it and then how to say it. See, if they don't know who they're going to call, if they don't know what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, well, they're not going to say anything to anyone. You guys with me? So let's get them plugged in to education. Then, of course, if we focus on knowledge and skills first, then it leads to the next category of foundation, which is their mindset. See, as we improve their competence and improve their confidence, that improves their mindset. And I believe 95% of everything we do is mindset. Whether we think we can or we think we can't, we're right, okay? So the final point would be habits. So what can you do to improve their habits? See, F.M. Alexander said this. He said, people do not decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So if you could just get them focused on creating a habit of 5 live conversations a day, they're going to add 1 agent a week on average. See, Pareto's principle applies here, the 80-20 rule, right? 5 conversations means that 1 person is going to say, yeah, I'm open-minded. Okay, they do that every day. That means 5 people per week are going to say, yes, I'm open-minded. Now, 20% of the 5 who say they're open-minded, at least 20% of 5 is 1 person is going to join every week. So gang, this is a numbers game, just like your real estate sales business. It's just a matter of being willing to create more conversations. That's it. That's it. So engage in the training that they're offering to you. Seriously, plug into that. By improving your knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits, you're going to strengthen that foundation. You're going to build a really rock solid business. So sadly, I am 8 minutes late to a coaching client who I've texted, but I need to jump. I need to jump. He pays me several $1,000s a month, and I just feel bad making him wait. So
hey, appreciate you, man. I can see why your resume is like it is. Thank you. A lot of great meat and potatoes. I'll reach out to you later, see if we can set something up for production. Thank you, Shon. Sincerely appreciate you. Thank you guys for jumping on.
I had so much fun with you guys. Take care.
You got it, man. Thanks, Shon.